Welcome everybody to the Horror and Gore Horror Movie Podcast. I'm your host Dakota. I'm always joined by my best friend and co-host Lyndsey. What's up, Lyndsey? How you doing?
Hey Dakota, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. But if you guys are looking on the screen, we got a great guest here. You guys have seen him before. He's one of the legends on Horror Talk. What's up, Colby? Welcome back to the pod.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. But if you guys are wondering why Goobs is here and we haven't introduced him as a guest yet, we got a big announcement right now. So everyone listened to the podcast last week, even Colby, and we got some great feedback. And we thought, why not just bring Goobs on as our third host here? So, Goobs, how do you feel about being the third host on Horror and Gore?
I'm ready. I appreciate it. I loved all the feedback, and I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm
We're
excited.
so happy to have you.
hell yeah. What we have watched this week. Colby, I'll let you go first.
I gotta pull up the letterboxd.
You good?
I'm just glad you didn't say me this time because I wasn't ready either.
Nothing like crazy good. I watched the Crow remake. It's fucking horrible. I watched The Bayou. It was methed up gators and it was fun. Cold Wallet, that was a decent little indie thriller. Piglet, hated actually. I almost said loved. Fucking hated it. Thanks a lot, Ian.
We both watched that.
And then I watched my favorite movie of the year so far, which is called Hoagie.
Hell yeah, can't wait for Hoagie.
And yeah, the last one is what we're talking about today.
Okay. Goobs, I'll let you go next.
All right. I didn't get too heavy into watching anything, but I did have a few. I watched a psychedelic thriller on AMC Plus called Do Not Disturb. It was a wild ride. I would definitely recommend it if you like psychological horror. Watch The Gorge, which that movie just doesn't seem like it knew what it wanted to be. There's so many different genres within it, but it's worth a watch at least once. I watched Slither with everybody last night, parts of it.
Dang.
You kind of watched it.
I got some good
And
pictures of you sleeping.
I'm sure you did. And then the last one I watched this afternoon at work, I watched a Japanese horror movie called Brutal on Tubi.
Oh shit.
And that was a wild ride. Those are the few that I watched.
I ate a BLT while I watched that movie.
That seems like the only way to do it.
Okay,
Okay.
guys, I'm gonna just let you on a little insight of what BOT means. So
Say
we
it.
have
Just say it right now. Just say it.
the big, large titties,
What does BLE mean?
the big, large erection.
You can't edit it out, Dakota. You have to keep it in.
So if you guys are wondering where that came from, it's from our live panels that we always have at night. I say some outrageous shit. Of course, my name on there is. I have came up with my own nickname. I'm Diablo. You better know me by that now.
That's
Just
the
so
official
you know.
announcement.
Just so you know, I was gonna say BLT as many times as I could, so you couldn't edit out all of them. So I'm glad that you brought this up.
You broke him on the very first one.
I
I'm
was gonna
impressed.
sabotage it.
I love
Yes, but that's what BOT stands for. But Lyndsey, what you said you were watching this week?
it. No, I haven't.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I watched a shitload of movies this week, so I'm gonna skip over. I watched a lot of my favorites. I watched Tahoe Joe 1 and 2. in preparation for
Bangers.
3. The Summer We Died. The other night, Colby introduced me to Mandy. I loved it. You'll Never Find Me. I watched The Devil's Rejects. And then last night we watched Slither.
Okay. So this week I went on a roller coaster with my movies.
What
So
does that mean?
of bad and good.
Oh,
So
okay.
I started out the week.
So you watched one bad, one good?
No, I started out the week like bad, then got 2 at least really good. First up, I watched Love Hurts, the new Ki Kwan movie. Fucking sucks, like dog shit.
I
That
love you,
sounds really
Dakota.
good.
Then I watched The Bayou. Pretty good movie. Meth up to alligators, like Colby said.
Dude, my fucking TikTok for that got instantly like taken down.
Oh, because you said that. But Chuck said it though, so I don't. I have a fucking TikTok so fucking soft.
Did you see that opening I did for that, Goobs?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't know it got
Genius,
taken
right?
down on TikTok. It's awesome. It's perfect.
Stupid.
Fucking TikTok. But then I watched My Dead Friend Zoe. That movie broke me. Then after I watched Flight Risk, not bad. Mark Wahlberg needs new acting credits, but best part of that's Topher Grace.
And hair plugs.
I can't believe
Also, this podcast is brought to you by Celsius.
Celsius is good. Then I watched Parasite for the first time. Parasite fucking rips.
Parasite's good.
Then I watched Riff Raff. That's not actually bad. It was pretty decent. Then, of course, last night I watched Slither. Good movie. Then
Great movie. I loved it. I loved it.
Is that your first 5 on Letterboxd besides Murderitaville?
Besides like movies that have been my favorites for years, yeah, I think so. I was going into
Damn.
this thinking we were gonna watch. I mean, I love the movie Tremors, but I thought it was gonna be like Tremors or something. Like I thought it was gonna be a weird snake movie, and
Slither is snake.
I just fucking loved it. And I want to point out at one point, I'm looking around the Discord, Goobs straight up passed out. Dakota's not on screen, so we don't know what he's doing. Colby's giggling, texting somebody, so I know he's probably taking pictures of Goobs. Chef is about to lose his lunch, and me and Ian are just like giggling at this movie. And yeah, 5 stars. I loved it.
But then, of course, I watched the movie that we're talking about today. But before we get into our main topic, we're going to talk about some great movie news this week. So first news we got is that Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell is finally getting 4K remasters, and they're being released by Arrow Video on May 20th. So, Lyndsey, have you watched any of the Friday the 13th?
The first one.
I know Goobs and Colby, you have watched both of these movies, right?
Yep.
Are you guys going to get the 4Ks for these?
Probably.
I'll get the 4K for Jason X for sure.
The cover art for both of them look fucking sick.
Yeah.
And
Your
I think,
glasses look fucking sick.
yeah, I do like the glasses.
Macho
though.
Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah.
I think Arrow also did a re-release for the remake of Friday the 13th. I'm not 100% sure on that. But then for our second piece of news, which I know Lyndsey didn't because she never watches trailers. I don't know if you two have. I finally saw the Screenboat trailer. Did you two watch it?
Mm-hmm.
It
I
fucking
saw it
looks
briefly.
good.
It looks
It's-
gory as fuck.
Yes. Do you think this movie will be as gory as Terrifier?
No.
No, definitely not.
Nope.
It'll have some, but it won't go that hard.
It'll try, maybe.
So my only question is with this whole entire thing, David Howard Thornton, besides like Circus of the Dead 2, has never got like an actor role, like in like a main feature film, not like a speaking actor role. Because Art, he's silent. The Grinch, he's silent. Do you think, besides the laugh at the end of the trailer, you think he will have some speaking lines in this?
No, he doesn't.
No, he fucking doesn't. What the fuck? But then, for our third piece of news, the Fear Street Prom Queen finally has a release date. Thank goodness. It's supposed to be released on Netflix on May 23rd of this year. Are you guys excited about this?
I am. I really liked
Yeah.
the Fear Street trilogy from a couple years ago.
Lyndsey, have
Same.
you watched the Fear Street trilogy?
No, I haven't. I
Oh,
haven't seen it.
there's some good. They are really good movies. This part 2 is my favorite. But do you guys have any extra news for this week before we head into our main topic?
I got one.
You can go, Colby.
So this is actually some pretty big news, but it's that the Oscars suck and it's run by a bunch of uppity Hollywood cunts.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell them why?
Oh, I can go on all day. First of all, it was just the brutalist awards. Second, Michelle and Tony Todd both got snubbed in the memorial, but some fucking random publicist for a random ass movie gets a memoriam. Fuck the Oscars. Fuck Hollywood.
Support independent
Mic drop.
cinema.
Mic drop.
But with that being said, let's get into our main topic, which today we're going to talk about a movie. I can't wait to talk about this. It's Everyone is Going to Die. A little backstory on this. Our lovely friend Colby up here, and
He's
Legend
so
Chuck
lovely.
and Legend Chuck they got into our TikTok live after we watched Frozen last week. And Chuck said this: stop whatever you fucking doing. Go watch this fucking movie. And when
Dakota's
Chuck-
like, all right, I'll watch it a week later.
Time out, time out. I would just like to note that I'm the only person that stopped what I was doing and started that fucking movie. I stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning watching that movie. Nobody else did.
I watched it
Go
the
on.
next day. So.
Yeah. You guys did eventually, but go on.
Lyndsey's a fucking trooper. But they said watch this movie. Of course, Lyndsey's gone and watched it. And when Chuck and Colby says this movie's fucking good, the movie is fucking good. It's like they're not bullshit anywhere. They're no bullshit artist.
But I was about to say bullshit artist. You beat me, Mr. BLT.
Mr. Beyonce. Oh no.
But let's get right into it. Let's talk about spoiler-free reviews. So, Colby, I'll let you go first.
So I saw a trailer for this one when I was just chilling at home waiting for my flight for New York, like before I had to leave for the bus stop and airport. So I clicked on it. I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. Didn't think anything of it afterwards. And then Chuck texted me. He's like, hey, I'm about to watch this. So I said, fuck it, I'll watch it too. I ditched my friends in the Discord. I'm very sorry. But Chuck and I watched the movie together. We ended up FaceTiming and watching like we synced it up. So it was like right at the same time. But we ended up FaceTiming for like the last 30 minutes of the movie. And yeah, without giving away any spoilers, it's fucking wild. But like the premise, it's a home invasion film with 2 female robbers. And it's just twist after twist. And when you think this movie is going somewhere, it takes a complete opposite turn. And it gets fucking wild. And it has some very disturbing content. Not visually, but subject matter, it's very disturbing.
Lyndsey, you can go next.
I'm just gonna say ditto because I'm not good at the spoiler free, and this movie was just like you don't fucking know till the end. So
Mhm.
that's it.
Goobs.
So yeah, I'll just kind of echo it. This is if you think you know the premise of a basic home invasion film, this is gonna mess you up because it's not your basic home invasion plot line. There's a lot of different deeper subject matter that starts getting revealed within the movie that just makes this even more than just a home invasion. And when you get to that ending, it's wild. And I did not see it coming. Even if you think you know what's going to happen, you don't.
If I hear anybody say, "Oh, I guessed that plot," shut the fuck up. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
I love the way that it tied everything in, like stuff you didn't even need to know that needed to be tied in. Just the way every single like plot hole or anything it just got tied in, and I just became I just loved the ending. I loved everything about it.
Yeah.
There was one small thing that I'll get to in the spoiler part that I did guess, but it was at the very end. So
Mm. No, there's a little thing I guessed as well too. I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same thing,
yeah,
but the whole ending in a whole did not see that coming.
right. Yeah.
So for me, going into this, everyone watched it, so I knew this movie was really good. But the premise of this, I haven't seen the movie, but a lot of people, I think Colby kind of compared it to it, is a little bit like Funny Games. Just a very little bit like the home invasion aspect of this. And this movie is so fucking creepy once you get around that 20-minute mark. The subject matter is very like deep in this in some moments, very disturbing wise. But the ending, I didn't really fucking expect. There was one thing, I wonder if it's the same thing that you guys thought a little bit. But once it like wrapped around itself, and you said the plots, because you and Chuck really said like on rewatches you picked up a lot more stuff. So I was thinking, but like for watching, I'm like, what's the things that could be picked up on? And after rethinking it over, those were the things that were picked up on if you could do on a rewatch.
It's a
But
really cool rewatch because you pick up a lot of things.
Right. I agree. I watched it back to back and loved it.
But should you guys watch this movie? Fuck yeah. It's
Fuck yeah.
pay the $7 to watch this, because people
Better
will be
than
like,
paying 13 for Popeye.
true. I haven't watched Popeye yet. I don't know if I'm ever gonna pay that for that shit.
He said,
Popeye's so fucking bad though, it looks like.
Oh my
better than
goodness.
Piglet.
Oh, Piglet.
Does that consider even to be free though?
Piglet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I mean, it was on Tubi, but I'm still pissed I
Yeah.
watched it. I'd rent Popeye again before watching Piglet.
Oh fuck.
The only redeeming thing about Piglet was that me, you, and Ian were watching it at the same time, so we were also distracted. Like if I were just sitting down watching Piglet, I would have been pissed that I spent that time watching Piglet.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I really heard that shit was like a ripoff of Blood and Honey.
I mean, it's
Well,
the
I
same
mean,
fucking mess,
Piglet
dude.
when I mean,
It's public domain. Like it's you get what you fucking think you're gonna get from it.
yeah.
True. But let's get right into this, guys. So, guys, if you haven't yet, go fucking pay the money for this movie. Go watch it, because you would not be disappointed.
I want to
Because let's-
perform the song so bad.
Put that song in this episode.
Yeah, fuck it. Do it. Just do it. Just fucking do it, Lyndsey. Play the damn song.
I can't. We're on my iPad.
What?
Like,
No, when you edit it, you put it in. You fuck.
I'm just saying, like, I wish this were a karaoke episode. I would just perform it.
To be honest, I heard this song the whole entire time that I'm watching. I'm thinking, fuck, this song is actually good. It was stuck in my head throughout the whole entire movie.
But it's the contrast of the song versus the heaviness of this movie. Like they just don't go together, but they're also just like chef's kiss perfect. Love it.
So let's get right into this. I would just say let's just go to the end because like the setup, the whole entire thing is kind of like just like your normal home invasion movie. Like there's some aspects in it that could be there kind of like
I mean,
oh
before we get to the end, I'd like to talk about when the daughter's in the attic and she finds out that those two have been squatting in their attic for however long.
Yeah.
That right there
Yeah.
fucking terrified me. Like that's
Yes.
fucked up.
I mean,
Yeah.
I live in a tiny apartment and like every time I get home, I'm looking in every single corner. So I can't imagine living in a big home like that. Like I would drive myself crazy wondering like what's in the walls. Ugh,
And yeah, and
terrifying.
there's also a few like underlining issues it doesn't really capitalize on, but it hints at. Like the main character, he obviously has some issues with women. Like he's divorced, has a daughter. It seems like he has some commitment issues with his current girlfriend. Like he doesn't want her there at all when his daughter's there.
Yeah.
And then what you find out at the end, and then you also find out that his current girlfriend, is pregnant. You find that out after she gets her head blown off.
And
But yeah, you just notice that this guy has a lot of issues with women.
yeah, because he also is on dating sites and does a
Yep.
lot of different things throughout the movie that hints that he's just not a good dude by any
Yeah,
means.
that and when they're making him watch porn in front of his daughter, which is very fucked up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fucked up underlining shit with that has to do with women.
I thought it was unique how usually in a movie you get like the bad first and then you start feeling sorry for the guy. You actually like start hating him more with everything
Yep.
that goes by. So
Absolutely.
it just kept getting thicker and kept getting grosser for me.
the two things I want to
And
talk about. Oh, Goops, you had something to say?
oh, nothing. Going back to just real quick, going back to like the underlining um issues that you notice of him having with women. I thought it was also while watching the trailer that it's two female intruders. You don't normally see
Mhm.
that in a
Mhm.
home invasion movie, or just like they're not normally the bad guys or the aggressors within a horror film. And so with this being that's kind of like your first breadcrumb throughout this film, like that he is a terrible person with women, and that is literally and figuratively going to catch up with him in the worst possible way.
You're not
So,
wrong at all.
so for me, the two things that I thought about was like the base when you talk about the attic. It's terrifying because this is the second movie now that I don't ever want an attic in my house when I move into one. The first is Black
Gives me
Christmas,
chills.
and this is the second one. Just thinking that somebody's living up there and you don't even fucking know it.
Dude, we had a raccoon in my attic one time. It was me home alone with my dog and cats, and Coda was at work, and I heard like this huge crash and like scurrying around in the attic. It was like one of the most like the time I've ever been most scared in my life. So I'm like Snapchatting a bunch of people. I'm trying to get Coda to come home from work, and one of my friends is like, "Dude, you're an MMA fighter. Go fucking up there and see what it is." I was like,
I
"That
would
doesn't
rather
mean
it
I'm
be a
not gonna get
ghost.
fucking killed."
I would rather it be a ghost.
Dude, I'm still a pussy when it comes to shit like that. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Whoa. But back to him, like the grossness. It's him when they make him watch the porn. The site that it's on, I fucking hate him because of the name. I don't know if it's. I think it's child pornography he's watching.
I don't think it was. I think it was
It's
like
not child,
on
yeah.
Oh, it's not child.
no. It was on the it was just teen, like
Yeah.
legal teen, but still gross.
Ugh.
Yeah, you're not wrong in your feelings.
Yeah, just a very, very dirty man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Porn is for the devil.
But besides that, because when you're going through this movie, what are you gonna say?
Also, nobody has talked about how fucking simple, but how unsettling those masks were.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought the
can
masks
agree.
were very, very effective.
Yeah.
Just with how simple and like paper mache type masks they were, I loved them.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
I think with the mask, it's when you get first introduced to these two women. It's when they're standing. That one's standing in the yard, and you see her face turn sideways, and you see half of it just absolutely creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really, the mask was just like a big what the fuck because you're trying to figure this all out, and then you're also like, what the fuck is this mask? Like, what does this have to do with it? But yeah, it was just weird and creepy and perfect.
But like with that, because I think it even made it more creepy because like the first woman, she took the mask straight off, right? Because I thought they were going to be going through this whole movie, the two women with the mask totally on, and it was going to be some type of like really big reveal, like taking the mask off and then kind of like a scream thing. Then when she
Mhm.
first took it off, I'm thinking, who the fuck is this? I'm thinking, and it's really, I started to think of like, what the fuck is happening? Like, how do they know this guy where he lives and everything? Especially when the first woman who had the mask off the whole entire movie, she was like, "Oh yeah, it's your daughter's birthday, and we're coming for the party." I'm thinking, how the fuck do you know about the daughter's birthday and it's the party at the beginning?
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
going back to the attic, that shows that like this is premeditated. They've been planning this.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to connect somehow. And then also with the masks when they were talking about it, like when she revealed her own face, when the other one was going to, she's like, no, leave it on. She's too ugly or something. I was like, there's got to be some kind of connection. Either she really is ugly, has a deformed face, or there's got to be a connection between the dad and he did something to this woman.
Did you have any guesses on who you thought it would be, or what the
I
connection would be?
Yeah, I had a couple, but nowhere near what I thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one guess, and I thought it was the opposite. Then it was like, nah, this is totally different, and it has to do.
Mm.
Do you just want to get to it into the end so I can say it real quick, or
Yeah,
do you have
fuck.
anything else?
Yeah.
I mean, we could always go back.
The one
Yeah.
theory I had is the woman that had the mask off the whole entire movie. I thought that was going to be the mother of the daughter, like somehow in the movie. And because she was really mean towards him and what he does to women. So I'm thinking, okay, this is probably a woman that got something happened to him. This is her daughter, and the daughter don't know. Because the daughter's like, my mom's not here anymore. So I'm wondering, because they never gave context of like what happened to the mom totally in this movie. So
Yeah,
I thought it was going that way. But when the actual twist happens, I'm like, what the fuck?
that's a
My
decent
own
theory.
my only guess, because I really couldn't figure out like why she had to keep her mask on. The only guess I had was like she was one of the girls from the dating site or something. Like he had seen her face before. I didn't
Mhm.
dream of it being what it was, but
That
yeah,
crossed my mind as well.
yeah, just
Yeah.
like I've been on a date with this woman or something.
Do
Yeah.
you want to know
The
the
only
guess that I did have? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Goobs.
Oh no, the only guess that I had was that the mom, because they had a terrible relationship. You could tell just by the dropping off of the daughter, not even getting out of the car, not even saying anything. I
Yeah, yeah,
could have
yeah.
swore like I was like, it's got to be the mom setting her up because they knew everything about this dude. They knew about his like banking records and like what he did, and
Yeah.
it went on that trajectory for me, and I'm like, it can't be that simple because
Yeah.
of everything that was said about the movie by you prior. So I'm like, there's got to be something else that's deeper. And then the more you go through, you're just like, okay, there's something there, but I had no idea that it was going to be what it was.
Yeah.
What was your theory, Colby?
So my theory, this is what I thought. It slowly faded away, but it was my theory at the beginning. But I had a feeling that the daughter was going to be behind it all or be a part of it somehow. Because you could tell she doesn't like her dad. She knows about all his money and everything too. But
Yeah.
then once it starts showing her like being so terrified, finding the shit in the attic, I was like, okay, maybe she's not part of it. But I did think that right at the very beginning.
I didn't
Yeah.
think it was necessarily her, but I thought maybe like a boyfriend of hers or something would be like setting it all up just to get some money. But that went away very quickly once, the mask came off and it just that went away.
I kind of thought that just a little bit that right towards the middle, but like you said, all the kind of the shit was going down, and she was getting more terrified. And another thing I thought is like, you know how she was texting her friend at the time about the boyfriend of. I thought this was going to be a revenge movie towards the daughter. That this was the mother and the person under the mask was the daughter, her friend, and that they were coming to like do revenge. Like really dumb concept though for like talking to a boy, but I thought it was going there and it was not.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that.
Okay, so I saw a little bit of Goop's reaction. Lyndsey, how did you really feel about this whole entire reveal? Because you kind of watched this like we never saw your reaction to this.
I mean, I don't know how to answer that. What do you mean?
Like, were you in awe? Like, were you just like shocked, or were you
I mean,
like?
I was shocked. Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is a movie that you literally it's not even up until the last scene. We're talking about the last sentence in the movie. Like you don't know until you're there. So yeah, it was a
last
big
sentence.
like you I believe I yelled what the fuck. I don't know though.
Because
Crazy.
I had a few what the fuck moments in that movie.
Yeah, I mean there were several what the fucks because there were several things revealed, but yeah, up until the last sentence. Jesus.
I have a question for everyone.
Mhm.
So the girl that always kept her mask on, you know how she was playing with scissors the whole fucking time?
Yes.
I was like, that's going to be a fucking foreshadow. Did anybody else think when they were by the pool table that she was going to cut his fucking dick off with the scissors?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
thought
thought it was going to be something.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to cut his dick off.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I
scissors
did
still were a foreshadow to something else, but I thought that
yes.
pee-pee was coming off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually several things foreshadowed with the scissors, but yeah, I didn't necessarily think she was gonna cut his pee-pee off, but I definitely thought she was gonna stab him.
Pee-pee go bye-bye.
I thought it was gonna be like a
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a death thing because you know how a lot of horror movies like tease it earlier in the movie. I thought it was going to be somebody's death caused by the scissors the whole entire time. Goops, you have any thoughts?
I'm like nervous to talk about it. But
No, I mean, I'm sure we're going to get into more scenes that made us feel the most uncomfortable and not just the ending, but there were some other parts that just gave me such a disgusting feeling in the pit of my stomach.
yeah.
There, I don't know if you want me to go into it now
You
or
can.
when they reach into his treasure chest in the closet and reveal a lot of adult toys. That part fucked me up real bad. Because not only did they, the girl that had the lady that had the mask on, she made her, the one that took her mask off, made her do things to that said toy while it was attached to him, while the daughter was watching. And then they turn to her and say, okay, it's your turn. I almost lost it because they turned to the daughter and said, okay, it's your turn to do it. And I was like, there's no fucking way they're gonna go this far. And that is the one time that I'm glad that it didn't go that far.
You
I
know,
was kind of
in that same moment, I thought, wow, Colby and Chuck really are having me watch a fucked up movie. Like, because I thought it was going there too. And thank God it
Did you think
didn't.
that toy was going to go inside of him?
Yeah, for sure.
I did. Actually did.
At one point or another, not necessarily then, but I thought like eventually for sure.
I'm kind of
like
disappointed it didn't.
I'm kind of sad it didn't. Like, if I'm being honest with you, like I wanted that to happen.
It's like that's
Fuck
going
that
in
guy.
his butt.
Fuck that guy with that. Yeah.
No, when you
Wrap it
said
in some.
wrap in some what? You gotta keep on going.
I mean,
You gotta keep on
Barbed
going.
wire.
Barbed wire.
Give me
Fuck
that
that
internal
guy.
cam.
To be honest, when you and Chuck said this is fucked up, I really thought the dodo was going straight up his ass. I'm like, if I see this shit
He
happen,
said the dildo's going up his ass.
He said straight up his ass.
Straight up.
Straight up the poop chute, Dakota.
I'm like, if this fucking happens, I'm like,
He called the shit poop.
this might be the most disturbing thing I ever watched if that actually happened.
I mean, it's still fucked. Like, it may not be like the most fucked up imagery wise, but that's some fucked up heavy subject matter in this
Woo.
movie.
It made me uncomfortable that whole entire scene right there kind of made me
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I'm like, should I be watching this actually?
Honestly, that wasn't as uncomfortable as the office scene for me. The office scene
I
was
was
more
gonna the office scene is what set the tone of where this movie is gonna go. Like, oh wow,
Yeah.
they're gonna go places with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried about the office scene. I'm like, oh fuck, if this goes there, I don't know if I could finish this movie.
Plus the scissors came out and like she starts snipping and I'm just like, yeah, there's fight over a gun. Yeah.
I wish
The
I had my
office-
work scissors. I'll be playing with them right now.
There were some things in my head that I thought that it's going to happen because you know how the beginning of this movie it kind of shows what the two of them like looking at each other. Then it snips to the very beginning, kind of
Snips?
like the snips. Yeah, puns right there.
puns right there. I love you so much.
But I thought it was going to be the two women having the father and daughter do something to each other. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't know if I can go this fucking far.
I thought it was gonna go there too.
Yeah. At
So
least
That
a
I'm
little
glad
bit.
it didn't do. Yeah, that
And
I'm glad it didn't go.
It didn't even a little bit. Like, I mean, there were hints at it, but like they didn't at all. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, same.
But the fucking line drop in this, I can tell. Colby FaceTimed me when this line dropped. I felt my phone vibrate. I grabbed my phone. I look, it's FaceTime you, and she said the line of, yeah, what that he she's her his daughter, and I'm like, I put the phone down. I'm like, what the fuck? But then I thought I had rewatching. I'm like, still what the fuck? But it's the whole entire what the fuck was at the very end shot of when the daughter walks over to her and grabs her hand. So was she never involved in this at all?
It doesn't really go fully into it, like, unless she could have been behind it. Like, they could have talked to her about, like, hey, your dad is this kind of predator. He's this kind of piece of shit. And the daughter was in on it the whole time. Or it could be the daughter just completely switched stances. It makes you make up your own mind about it, which I really like.
I felt like she seemed shocked, but then immediately once she realized what was going on, she was like, hold up, like girl power kind of thing.
But we didn't even fully say what happened yet.
Yeah.
So who wants to take it? You want me to?
Yeah,
I feel like Colby should. Colby do it.
Me? You? Me? Me?
You,
Okay, me?
Colby.
Okay. So
Colby does horror
there,
after all.
the last 20 minutes is when it's like the most dread-filled fucking anxiety I've had probably since watching The Coffee Table. So the masked lady or the unmasked lady, she makes the man drug the masked lady's drink. And I'm like, where's this fucking going? Like, I was like, he's gonna make her essay. Oh, you can say rape on here at the podcast. He's gonna make her rape this woman in front of her fucking daughter, in front of his fucking daughter. Which what she does is she makes him play out the entire night, like literally scene for scene of what happened in the past. You find out that this man raped the masked woman, and the unmasked woman is the rape baby of them two. And the whole time they're playing out every fucking scene of what happened in the past while she makes the younger, like the other daughter, watch while everything plays out. Like from getting stabbed in the leg, from eventually raping her on the pool table. It was so fucking hard to watch.
Cut her clothes off.
Yep, cut her clothes off with the scissors, stab her in the leg with the scissors.
The taking the
Hit her a
pants
few
off thing
times.
made me so uncomfortable.
And even just straight beating the shit out of her.
Yeah. No.
Oh, that honestly, that was harder for me than the actual rape scene, because I mean that was all more implied. I mean they showed it, but he was sort of like off, and it
Yeah,
was
I think
uh,
they played it in good taste.
right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when she was just having him hit her, and like they had a safe word, but like she was saying the safe word, and he wasn't stopping, and like, ugh, that was rough.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that
And-
too because. Oh, what were you gonna say, Goobs?
Oh no, just going back to what they were saying. They didn't, you know how some films they kind of hyper focus on it and almost kind of glamorize the SA scenes to try to
Yeah.
just do shock and awe. They
Yeah.
did a tasteful job, like Colby said, as far as keeping it to a distance and you know what's happening, and it almost is more effective in that way because you know
Oh,
what's going on, and then whilst it's going on, it's kind of unveiling every little piece of information that you got prior while watching the movie, and you're just like, is this holy shit, they're connected in more ways than you think. And
Mhm.
then when it's over, and then the big bombshell, you're just like, Jesus Christ. And it floored me. I'm sure you guys saw my reaction while I was watching it. It was jaw on the floor, going, what the hell? And it was just so perfectly done in that aspect of storytelling, even though it was such an uncomfortable manner.
Mhm.
and I think that scene with it being off the way it was, like you said, it made it more uncomfortable. For me, it just sort of it made you as the viewer feel more helpless. Like I'm just sitting in the corner here, just like watching this fucking happen, and I can't do anything about it. And so yeah, that was heavy, but I mean, made for an amazing movie, I guess.
I watch a lot. If you follow my page, you know I watch a lot of fucked up, visually just shock for shock factor movies, and like it makes you want to like look away and shit because it's so fucked up. But this, like,
Mhm.
it was done in such good taste, like you just could not keep your eyes
Yeah.
off the screen. It's
Yeah.
so engaging.
hmm Engaging, that's the word.
Yeah.
So with that scene, like you're saying, like the blurry shot of it, it kind of puts you in the perspective of the daughter because
Mhm.
the camera is right behind her head, so you're
Yeah.
seeing what the
Yeah.
daughter is seeing.
And you're feeling what she's feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that it was just very well done. The part where Lyndsey said with the safe word and then not listening to the safe word, that was probably the most like brutal part of it as
hmm
far as just because you hear it. Because like I said,
Helpless.
throughout the scene, you don't hear or see anything right up close, but that safe word leading up to it, you hear everything, and it's just like, yeah,
hmm
Mhm.
and it's just
And
anxiety and just helplessness.
And going back again to like towards like the middle of the movie, like these two intruders, they're like keep trying to push that this man's like a fucking predator, like he's a bad person, just a piece of shit. But you don't want to believe it. You're like, why am I gonna believe these fucking people who are trying to steal this man's money? Like, sure,
this girl's dad.
He's probably just some rich asshole piece of shit, but like there's no evidence that convinced me that he's a predator. But when everything
Right.
comes together, I'm like, holy shit, he is a fucking dirtbag predator.
Yeah.
I just think how they played everything in this movie, from the cinematography to the writing, I just thought it was so perfect. And then how it all came together, like it just floored me.
Yeah.
So the two things I want to talk about. Goops, you had something to say real quick.
I was just
BLTs and
agreeing-
BLEs. Sorry, Goobs.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you. I haven't watched it since over a week ago when you guys first told us about it, and just talking about it again is just bringing up everything that I thought about during the movie again, and it still hits.
It really does.
A lot.
So the two things I really want to talk about is the money. Did the money go to the daughter when they transferred it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking that.
Because remember the wife, the ex-wife, or the actual mom texts the dad, and she's like, "What kind of games are you playing? Why did all this money just get transferred to?" I
you
forgot
think
the
you can
daughter's
buy
name.
her love or
Fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which you can buy my love.
Then
Ew.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
No, I just meant like I hate my dad. So like
No, I'm
if
just
he wanted
kidding.
to try to buy my love.
So shit, you guys made me okay. I just remembered now.
Did we confuse you?
A
Make you
little
lose
bit,
track?
yes.
We still haven't completely told the end of what happens either.
Mhm.
But I want to
Okay.
get to the girlfriend, because when she gets killed, you see how the masked woman, she's like, the rule was to not kill anybody.
Yeah, she was very upset about that.
Yeah.
Do you think they only killed that girl? The woman only killed her because it was wrong place, wrong time for her.
Absolutely.
I think she just got hot-headed and blew
They
her top.
weren't planning on her showing up.
Right.
Or
And the other woman, she didn't want anyone else to be hurt. She wanted to be the only one that was hurt.
they got the fucking was it the dude that was getting the promotion or whatever, comes right in, has the fuck who.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
forgot
that
about
dude got
him.
face fucked too.
Yeah.
Man.
Wait, I don't know if he died though. I don't think he died. He only got shot in the shoulder, actually.
Was it the shoulder, or did he get shot in the heart?
I think he got shot in the shoulder.
I thought his like whole chest was blown out, but maybe I'm just
I just remember
confusing
seeing a
movies.
little bullet
I've
hole. I
watched a
don't
lot
know.
of movies lately.
That part really wasn't needed, honestly, because they don't go back to
No.
it. It's just somebody
I-
that he's a partner with.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was just kind of unnecessary filler.
I think they just added, just filler and another body count
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
add
True.
to.
But Colby, you guys said there was something else you guys want to talk about at the end of this movie, or was it you,
Oh,
Lyndsey?
that is Lyndsey.
Lyndsey, what else you got?
No, I mean like we have just told that he rapes her, but like that's where we stopped. Like more stuff happens.
Yeah, we can get to the final part, and
Oh,
Colby can go over the final reveal.
Yeah, I thought I said it, but I guess not. But yeah, so the final reveal. He rapes the woman. The unmasked lady is the rape baby. And then you find out that the unmasked woman and his daughter are fucking sisters.
And she kills the
yeah, she kills her.
mom.
Oh yeah, and she kills the mom. Yes.
That's the part that I was like
Yeah.
the mom dies.
It's kind of, I looked at it kind of as her putting her out of her misery of the trauma and shit she's been living with for all these years, like kind of
Agreed.
letting her be at peace.
So my question is, what do you think the actual plan was? Because what happened wasn't the actual plan.
Mm-mm.
It happened a little different. So what do you think the actual plan was?
To still give the daughter all of his money, just embarrass him, humiliate him for what he did to the masked woman. And yeah, I really don't see how the end game would have played out, like without either him dying or something. But I think that their end game was to give the daughter the money and just humiliate him and leave it at that. But I don't know what they would have done with him, calling the cops or what. But that's just how I looked at it.
My guess or theory is they kind of piggybacking, they wanted to get that to the daughter. They wanted to make sure that she knew what type of person he really was. I still think the end game was to end the mom's life because of all the
Suffering.
trauma that she's been dealing with because his daughter is 16 years old and this other daughter that he just found out is much older than his daughter that he already knew he had. So she's been carrying around this trauma for over 16 plus years. And I think this was one of those, I can't deal with this anymore. He's got to pay for what he's done. And then I'm I'm ready to go. And then you can continue to live your life. But I have to go. I can't live with this. But we need to have this closure for me. And then but I definitely don't think they planned on killing as many people as they did throughout the
Yeah.
process
Like,
by any
yeah.
means.
I think it was all a choreographed dance. Like it was all like the whole end part was supposed to happen the way it happened.
Yeah.
But like the people dying along the way, like that wasn't supposed to happen.
So
Which I think is like so, I don't know, just wild.
like we explained, I think the guy was just something you threw in there. But with the girlfriend getting killed and showing the pregnancy test, like going back to it, shows how much a piece of shit this guy is because he would have 3 kids with 3 different women, and he don't care about either a single one of them because he didn't know about the daughter of the rape victim. He didn't care about even his own fucking daughter. Then would he care about this one? Probably not. He didn't even care about his own girlfriend.
Yeah.
He only cares
I,
about himself and his dick.
yeah, and I feel like this whole movie kind of, and I don't know how to phrase it any other way, but it kind of runs as like an allegory of what a narcissistic, what do you call it? Like an toxic masculinity, narcissistic type of life and where it could lead you and show how much damage it can cause other people when you have that such self-centered mentality and that sort of ideology, and it it's very well done in that aspect where you're just like, man, this dude's a piece of shit, and he shows every single sign of being a piece of shit that is in today's day and age where everybody wants to be a playboy billionaire and just have all these women, but not understanding what type of not only trauma that can have for the other people involved, but the consequences that it could come around and get you at the end.
I agree.
Because not only with like what I explained, but before the even like the hold him like being masculine, like against women and everything, you see this when he first has this video call with this guy that's getting the promotion. The guy's like, "Are you gonna be here?" He's like, "No." You can tell right now that this dude's a selfish fucking asshole who just wants to get rich.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck him.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a,
He
he's
had he
he's
had
a
no
dude.
redeeming qualities. There was, I mean, I mentioned this before, like just everything, every time he opened his mouth, everything that you learned about him, it was just like fuck this guy.
Yeah, you definitely found yourself rooting for the intruders, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and I think I want to jump into like the very final part, if that's okay, with the two daughters. Kind of, I think why. So the ending at the very end, after the daughter kills the mom, or the rape baby kills the mom, the dad grabs the shotgun and goes to point it at the rape baby. However, then his daughter comes in front and grabs a hold of her hand, and they stand in solidarity. And I think the reason why they did that, not only did she not like her dad in general with all the bullshit that he's done prior, but in going back to when after they killed the girlfriend, they were both in the bathroom and they had like a little kind of conversation while in the bathroom, and it was kind of like a mother daughter kind of connection as
Mhm.
far as throughout that
It wraps
conversation.
that around. Yeah.
So, and it brings it back to where, okay, I know that these people are telling me the truth because there's that humanity and human connection between her and the victim. So I think it was kind of cool how it all kind of came around, and she was like, "No, this is who I'm going to protect. You're out of here," kind of thing. So, and it ties back to that bathroom scene where they had that conversation and just had that sentimental moment, which I thought
Yeah,
was really cool.
it was the amongst chaos human recognizing human. Like we're having this human moment, and uh it made her real for the daughter. So yeah,
Yeah,
there was that connection later on.
But guys, is that it for you about this movie?
yeah. I mean, just go watch it, and I'm sure you'll see it in a different light than all of us because
Yeah.
it's such a well written story that you could view it in multiple different ways and still be right in how you feel.
Yeah.
But guys, with that being said, thank you, Colby, for joining us for this episode. I'll
I
put
got
his.
one.
Goob's got something.
Ooh.
I got one more thing before we go. Colby, I love you, but this is for Dakota and Lyndsey. So now that I am officially a co-host with you guys, I just got one thing to say. We're the three best friends that
Friends that
anyone can
anyone
have.
could have.
The
We're the
three
three
best
best
friends that
friends that
anyone
anyone
can
could.
have. That was
I
my
love you,
I
final thing.
approve of
Goobs.
that message.
No, I want to piggyback off of that. I never would have thought last summer when I DM'd Colby randomly on that day, like just trying to sell some fucking plushies, that like I
Slide in
would
my
meet some.
DMs.
I did. And like, Colby, now you're a guest on a podcast that I am co-hosting. Like, that's just so weird. And like, I've met some of my favorite people, and like, I love you guys. So I'm happy that we got to do this.
I want to be the
Gang,
first to
gang.
say too, Goobs. I was the first one to tell Dakota you should ask Goobs to be one of the third
Yeah.
host.
I
I mean,
appreciate that.
it ties it all together. It's perfect.
Okay, I gotta say something now after you two said something. So
Everybody else made a speech. I got to make a speech.
when I first started this thing, I was the only one doing this. I had Ian Colby on for the first episode. But going back to last week, Goops, without this podcast, me and you would never know each other.
Yeah,
No, without the live, you guys wouldn't. Oh yeah, technically you're right.
Yeah, because when I collabed
well,
with you two, it introduced me to Goobs.
yeah.
And of course, without the lives, it would never have brought Lyndsey here also. So
But
Colby,
it never
I
brought
will no,
Lyndsey here.
to be honest, Ian, I want to thank you and Ian because without you two, these two would not be here co-hosting with me right now.
Ian and I are the part-time hosts on this podcast.
You're that, yeah.
But I will put all of Colby's links down below. Go fucking follow him.
Link it.
And I will also put your guys' podcast. There's another podcast he is on with Mr. Ian Van Gool.
We
It's
love
the
you,
house-
Ian.
It's the House of Ghouls. They have some
Gang.
great guests on. Like this week, they're going to have a director on. Go listen to the episode. I've been on an episode. Hopefully these two can be on the episode very, very soon. Be very entertaining.
We'll have a big collab very soon.
Yeah, let's go.
You get a podcast, so you get
But also, we'll put Goobs's, Lyndsey's, and my links down below if you guys want to follow us individually. But guys, if you are listening here on Spotify or Apple, give us a 5-star rating. Also, hit that follow button if you want to stay with us. But if you guys are watching the video version and seeing all our wonderful faces, hit the like button if you guys like this episode.
If you have any movie suggestions, leave them below.
But if you want to stay with us, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification. It will tell you guys whenever we post episodes and when we post shorts and clips from the podcast. And also follow us on our social medias. We're on TikTok and IG. But guys, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great week. And we will see you guys next Tuesday.
See you guys.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
See you next Tuesday.